Kim Kardashian done, sends cease and desist to Kanye West. As longtime Kardashian fans know, Kim Kardashian shares her 4 children with controversial rapper, music producer, and entrepreneur Kanye West. However, it seems their custody situation is getting ugly, as Kim recently sent her ex a cease and desist. So what happened recently with this situation? Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have 4 children together. As longtime Kardashian fans know, despite calling it quits with her ex, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian still shares her 4 children with a controversial celeb. And in that regard, the pair will always be linked. They were together for many years, and their union resulted in 4 kids. Whether it's an update with North, Saint, Chicago, or Psalm, Kardashian fans regularly keep an eye on Kim's updates to see the various things that her children have going on. Because they have famous parents, paparazzi always want to film or take pictures of the famous kids in order to document their activities. Not surprisingly, they have all grown up under a microscope and bright lights. Kanye West has a tendency to go off the rails and do his own thing. While some people have gotten used to his antics over the years, Kanye did something recently that Kim Kardashian did not like, and it's bad enough that it looks like the gloves are coming off. Kardashian done with Kanye, taking it to court? Based on the latest tea making the rounds from TMZ, it appears that Kim Kardashian is seriously considering taking the controversial rapper to court and trying to take away his joint legal custody. This situation seemingly arose following him releasing a song with North West without her approval. Of course, Kanye has been known to go off script and do his own thing. However, in this case, it could have actual legal repercussions, depending on how this situation plays out. Messy legal battle ahead for famous exes. When it comes to Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, specifically as it relates to their children, physical custody is not a huge issue, as the rapper reportedly rarely sees his children. However, when it comes to conflicts relating to their children, their divorce agreement stipulates that they must attend a private hearing with a judge present. It turns out Kim Kardashian requested an emergency hearing with their lawyers, a mediator, as well as a judge after she found out that Kanye West was planning to release a song featuring North West and Scene Diddy Combs. After initially agreeing not to release the track, Kanye dropped it on X. It also appears that Kanye is furious over Kardashian, sending him a cease and desist letter, as well as trademarking their daughter's name, even though it's alleged that they made this decision together. As this situation continues to heat up, a recent insider said of Kim Kardashian's actions, Kim's priority is the well-being and safety of her children and to protect them from being around Kanye's controversial behavior. Kim Kardashian sat in the sleek, modern office of her attorney, tapping her meticulously manicured nails against the mahogany desk. The scent of vanilla and jasmine from the diptyque candle she had lit earlier lingered in the air, but it did little to soothe her growing frustration. She had reached her limit. The headlines, the social media rants, the subliminal jabs, she had endured it all. But now it was time for action. With a deep breath, she folded her arms and looked at her lawyer, a seasoned litigator who had seen the ins and outs of Hollywood's most bitter disputes. "I want him to stop. This has gone too far," Kim said, her voice calm but firm. Her lawyer nodded, flipping through a neatly compiled dossier filled with printed screenshots, transcriptions of interviews, and a log of the relentless public commentary Kanye had made about her. "We've drafted a cease and desist letter. It's direct and legally binding. If he continues, we'll escalate to a defamation suit. Are you sure you want to go through with this?" her lawyer asked, pushing the document toward her. Kim glanced down at the letter, reading through the carefully crafted legalese that demanded Kanye West immediately cease his public attacks on her, their family, and her business ventures. She exhaled. "Yes, send it." The letter landed on Kanye's doorstep in Calabasas the next morning, delivered by a courier who barely got a nod from the rapper's security team. He sat in his sprawling home studio, working on a new beat, when his assistant hesitantly walked in with the legal envelope in hand. Yay, this just came for you," from Kim's lawyer. Kanye, dressed in an oversized hoodie and leather pants, glanced up, eyes narrowing as he snatched the envelope from the assistant's hand. He ripped it open and scanned the document, his expression unreadable at first. Then a scoff, then a smirk. "A cease and desist, really?" he muttered to himself, shaking his head. His mind raced. Kim, the woman he had once seen as his muse, his queen, was now treating him like a PR liability. Sure, he had said some things. Okay, a lot of things, but it was all in the name of love, wasn't it? He wasn't trying to destroy her. He was just telling his truth. He pulled out his phone and opened Instagram, fingers hovering over the screen as he debated whether to post a response. A long caption, a cryptic message, a meme. He loved memes. But something in him hesitated. Kim wasn't playing anymore. Meanwhile, in Hidden Hills, Kim scrolled through her phone, waiting to see if Kanye would acknowledge the letter publicly. The kids were playing in the backyard with their nannies, laughter echoing through the massive estate. Her best friend, Lala Anthony, was sprawled out on the couch beside her, sipping a matcha latte. "So, do you think he's actually going to listen?" Lala asked, arching a perfectly sculpted brow. Kim exhaled sharply. "I don't know, but he needs to. I can't keep living like this. Every time I wake up, there's a new headline about me because of him. I just want peace." Lala nodded. "You deserve that. And you know what? You're handling this like a boss." Old Kim might have gone off on social media. New Kim? Legal action. That's growth. Kim smiled. Right? Growth. Her phone buzzed. It was a notification from TNC. Kanye West responded to Kim Kardashian's cease and desist. See what he said. Kim rolled her eyes. Well, that didn't take long. She clicked the article and skimmed the contents. Kanye had posted a cryptic message on his Instagram story. A black screen with white text that read, "They can't silence the truth. Free speech still exists, right?" Lala groaned. Of course he's playing the martyr. Kim shook her head, tossing her phone onto the couch. "I knew he wouldn't just let it go, but this isn't just about me anymore. The kids see this stuff. North is old enough to understand what's happening. It's toxic. I have to put an end to it." The following morning, Kim's legal team filed additional paperwork. This time, they were seeking a formal court order preventing Kanye from making defamatory statements about her. It was one thing to have a public feud. It was another to be legally held accountable for it. Kanye, still unbothered, sat in his studio with his closest confidants. One of them, a producer he'd worked with for years, hesitated before speaking. "Yade, man, maybe it's time to let this go. You said your piece. She's serious about this." Kanye stared at the soundboard in front of him, deep in thought. Let it go? He had never been good at that. But for the first time he wondered, was he pushing too hard? Kim, on the other hand, was already mentally moving forward. She had work to do, businesses to run, a life to live beyond the constant chaos of her ex-husband's outbursts. As she prepared for a meeting at Skim's headquarters, she took one last look at her phone. No new Kanye posts, no new headlines. Maybe, just maybe, the message had finally been received.